My boyfriend slowly turned me into his full-time babysitter, then told his son not to trust me when I finally said no. Plus one update. I'm 27 and female. Jake, is 29 and has a kid, Timmy, who is 8. We started dating a little over 2 years ago. Jake has full custody of Timmy. About 6 months into our relationship, I was helping him with his budget. Timmy's after-school childcare is expensive, and it turned out that the hourly rate during mealtimes was almost double. Jake asked me if I would mind starting to pick Timmy up after my shift, which would cut the dinner hour off and save money. I agreed, and to be honest, it wasn't a big deal. The pickup was on my way home, and Timmy would play video games for 45 minutes while I studied until his dad came home. After I got my master's, I had more flexibility in my work schedule. Jake started pushing me to start work an hour earlier, as this would mean I could pick up Timmy earlier and he would save more money. This was a major discussion, but I finally agreed because I knew money was tight. Then, in August, my roommates moved and I found myself needing a new place to live. Jake and I decided to move in together. Soon afterwards, Jake shifted his shift back an hour, claiming it was easier to help Timmy to get ready for school if he wasn't having to leave at the same time. However, this meant I had Timmy an extra hour alone. Again, this was a major discussion, but I gave in. Then Jake decides he is going to start going to the gym after work. For the record, this makes our schedule Monday through Friday that I go to work while they are asleep. Jake gets Timmy on the bus in the morning, goes to work, goes to the gym, and comes back when Timmy is in bed. Meanwhile, I pick up Timmy and provide care for 5 hours, including dinner, bath, and bedtime solo. When I said I didn't like this setup, Jake screamed that I wasn't taking his health seriously. It's been an ongoing fight for the last few months. After New Year, Jake announced that Timmy was old enough to get himself up for school. Then that he had taken a completely different shift so that he would work out in the morning. The shift is 12 to 9 and includes Sundays. This means the only time he will even see Timmy is after school on Wednesdays when he is off, and I'll be expected to provide all childcare the rest of the week. I said absolutely not, this was too far. There was a huge argument where Jake said I wasn't being a team player for the family. Then he took Timmy aside and told him not to trust me or listen to anything I said because I lied about caring for him. I left. I've been at a friend's house since Thursday. Jake wants to meet tonight to try to make up. I'm not sure if I should go, and if I do, what I should say. I feel like every time I agreed to help, he pushed things further on me, and while I don't mind helping a partner with a kid, I don't want to be the full-time mom. TL, doctor, was asked to provide more and more childcare for my BFS kid until I broke. Not sure if there's a point of reconciliation. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. Then he took Timmy aside and told him not to trust me or listen to anything I said because I lied about caring for him. No, instant red flag right there. Dump him. Commenter 2. It sounds like he wanted a free nanny more than a so. You aren't this child's mother, and you shouldn't be expected to act like it. At least not until you're more serious, or married, etc. He was taking advantage of the situation and not being a very present father. I would say meet him for closure if you feel that you need it, but I wouldn't let myself go back to them. Not unless they can really change and value you, along with any bit of help with the child you decide to give. Telling that child that you're a liar though. That's a huge deal breaker, imho. Update, 6 days later. I met with Jake a day later. I wanted extra time to think. He initially acted really lovey-dovey when we met up and told me that Timmy was making me a giant welcome home sign for when I came back. I said we needed to talk first. I basically had written down an estimated numbers of hours I was providing active care for Timmy in the past few months, versus him. Then how many hours of care he was predicting we each provide, which was 4 of his hours compared to 50 of mine. I said that I hadn't had time to pursue hobbies, go to the gym, etc. in the last few months. And also that we hadn't done anything as a couple. I said for me to come back, he had to change all that. He answered with his own list of stuff. Which was confusing, like his mom wants me to raise Timmy's grades more as he struggles with reading, and he thinks that we should enroll him in a club. I was upset because it was all stuff I'd have to do additionally to my workload. I said I wouldn't, he said I'd come around. Then he said that I had put him in a bind for childcare the last 2 days, and asked if I would come and watch Timmy for him anyway. I said I would help for a few days if we have a sit-down, and he tell Timmy that I'm not untrustworthy, as he had told the boy earlier. He refused, saying that I proved I was untrustworthy by threatening to break up. Then he asked if I would at least chaperone him to a birthday party that's coming up at a bounce trampoline place. I said absolutely not, that I was under mind authority and that was awful in a place that dangerous. He left. My friends went with me to get my stuff yesterday. I've been a mess, but friends are convincing me to go out with them a few places next week, and I might take up dance classes again starting February. Thank you all for showing me I wasn't completely off base. TL, doctor, he wanted more childcare. I said no. We broke up. Final comments. Commenter 1. So you're telling him that you spend all your time caring for his kid and then he tells you more ways to spend time with his kid? What a shitheel. I feel bad for his son. And if you didn't have time to work out, clearly he wasn't prioritizing your health. Oop. It was more like, I phrased my list as I have some things that I need to change for us to move forward. And he sort of jumped on it and started his this is all stuff I've been thinking about. I don't even think he listened to me, just heard the opening to list demands. Commenter 2. Perhaps this is an inappropriate question, but I'm really curious to understand how someone like you, driven, mature, caring, empathetic, etc., ever ends up in a relationship with someone like your ex, short-sighted, immature, manipulative, selfish, etc.? If anyone can explain that to me, I'd appreciate the lesson. Anyways, I'm glad that you've exited that one-sided relationship. Oop. It wasn't like it happened at once. When we started dating, it was a lot of active stuff because Timmy would be with us, so we'd go skiing or roller skating or to the beach. I never had a problem with him being there. And the original 1-hour deal was honestly no biggie, and it made sense financially. Each favor from there on just grew and grew. My friend I'm staying with has told me I need to reread If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. Commenter 2. I appreciate your response. I hope that my question wasn't offensive to you. My curiosity comes from a place of empathy, and I intend to leverage what I learn in order to grow. It seems that the slow regression is somewhat common in these types of relationships. I can see how the one foot in the door can turn into the entire elephant is in the room now when it starts off as a seemingly reasonable compromise and then festers into unreasonable expectations and demands. Oop. I think the part that's hard right now is that each step was just a little more and I fought a little more. But when I put my foot down, he made it sound like the issue was just the last request, and that it came out of nowhere. As though I was just suddenly being unreasonable for the last small change. That's what hurts.